It looks like I am live. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Tammy Morrison, and I'm here to bring you Sunday service with a little bit of Dr. Joseph Murphy's book thrown in there. So, what I decided to do this morning, because I really wanted to read this book as well, is actually bring it in and actually talk about it with Sunday service. So, how about that? So I'm so super grateful that you guys have joined me here. And for those of you that are catching the replay, wonderful. Make sure that you hit hashtag replay and let me know that you were watching. I would really appreciate it. And also drop in the comments where you're watching from. So if you're watching live, put hashtag live and tell me where you're watching from. And if you are watching on the replay, put hashtag replay and tell me where you're watching from, because I love to see where people are watching all over the planet. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to read Dr. Joseph Murphy's book in this chapter, and we're going to talk about it as we go along, because that is like amazing to me. So we were on chapter 12. I think it was 12. She based her success on service. A young woman who was extraordinarily successful in the beauty parlor business told me that she opened her shop on what she called a shoestring. But her main idea was to give the best service possible to her clients, while at the same time possessing a sense of unity with the divine source in her inner life. Okay. She realized that hard work in her business was not enough, that she would have to work also in the inner recesses of her mind. Her constant prayer formula was a reiteration and understanding of the following great truths. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. Isaiah 26:3. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. Isaiah 30:15. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Psalm 37:7. Commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. Psalm 37:5. So all of those scriptures are about our peace and our strength and, doing things in confidence, waiting patiently, all of those things. So as she mentally focused on these eternal verities, she knew they would be integrated into her character and mentality and also be expressed in her work. She has been carried forward on the crest of the wave of prosperity, victory, and achievement. The law of being is abundance. As you look around you, it is apparent that the infinite treasure house within you creates profusion in all nature. The law of life is plenty, not lack. It is necessary for you to get on a mental and spiritual basis, and then you will be able to transform your life and thus experience the riches of the infinite in your mind, body, and business life. Remember, your thought takes form in the inner realm of your mind and may be seen by a sensitive or psychic person. Poverty thoughts will cause you to experience poverty and stricken conditions. You will find people perhaps living on the same block or working beside you in an office or factory who are thinking thoughts of riches, plenty, security, and the life more abundant. They seem to become surrounded with everything they need. The secret of their success is to substitute for the thoughts of lack and limitation the habitual thoughts of the infinite and inexhaustible supply of God's riches. Change your thoughts and keep them changed as you steer and direct your thoughts on the riches of the infinite flowing into your experience. A fantastic and tremendous difference will take place in your life. How he overcame his arrearage in rent and overdrawn bank account. Some months ago, I gave a lecture in Laguna Beach, California on the law of opulence. After the lecture, a man came to see me at the hotel. He was deeply perturbed. His problem was that he had to mortgage his life policy and could not pay his bills. The rent was 3 months past due and his purse was empty. His question was, how can I trust the infinite source when I am now broke? Wow, I am so ready to hear the answer to that one, because that is a question that a lot of us have had. We are in this place where we are trusting God. We are trusting the infinite source. We are trusting the divine. We are trusting the universe. but we're broke. So I replied that there is an answer to every question and there is a solution to every problem. And the answer to his problem was to follow the biblical injunction, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Matthew 6:33. One of my favorite scriptures. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So if you are seeking first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, then everything that you desire is going to show up in your awareness. This means that all the powers of the God presence are within you. You must claim what you want and feel the reality of it, and your subconscious mind will honor, validate, and manifest that which you impress upon it. I explained to him that wealth, health, peace of mind, success, etc., were all simply states of mind, and that one idea, such as a new invention, a book, a play, a new technique in business, or a promotional concept to benefit and bless mankind, could be worth $1 million or more. Righteousness simply means the right use of the law, such as right thinking, right feeling, and right action. You wish for all men and all the blessings of life. You perceive abundance in all things for all people. And one thing I want to interject right here is that many times other people will be looking at you and they'll be speaking things into your life based on their own experience. Like they'll tell you, they'll speak all this lack stuff to you, and how things are just so bad and the world is such a desolate place and all this other kind of stuff. However, you can choose whether you're going to receive that into your spirit or not. Now, I used to receive a lot of stuff like that, and I realized that as I've been going through this process of awakening and healing and removing and replacing limiting beliefs, as I've been going through this process in my own self, in my own body, realizing that people will just put shit on you. They'll just say stuff to you, and you choose whether or not you're going to accept it. So for me, I decided I'm not accepting any of that limiting stuff. I'm just not accepting it. I'm not. It's not a thing for me. So you decide whether or not you want to accept all those limiting things that people say. Most of the time, they're based on either their experience, or sometimes it's based on somebody else's experience that wasn't even them. And they try to throw it off on you. So you can decide whether you want to accept that or not. For me, I'm not accepting it. And I tell people, I used to be almost timid in that way where I wouldn't even say anything to people. But now it means my peace. And my peace is non-negotiable. So he began to see that a change of view could solve his problem and redeem him. I gave him a very simple way to disperse his dark and depressing mood by pointing out to him the tremendous power of words in activating the latent powers within him. The following words were to be affirmed out loud for 1/2 hour 3 times a day. Wealth, success, victory, joy. Wealth, success, victory, joy. Wealth, success, victory, and joy. He put all the feeling and enthusiasm at his command into these words, and gradually he became lifted up. He found that these words, sincerely uttered, activated, and made alive the real powers and potencies of his subconscious mind. As he anchored his mind on these realities and principles, the conditions and circumstances corresponding to their nature became visible on the screen of space. A few weeks went by and nothing particular happened other than that some close friends advanced him a few $1,000s to tide him over. However, the solution came about a month later when he discovered that one of his friends who had helped him out financially, as mentioned above, had also given him a ticket on the Irish sweepstakes. To his amazement, his horse won, and he received a large sum of money, which solved all of his financial problems. His subconscious knew the answer. He trusted the inner powers, and according to his belief, it was done unto him. A fruitful technique for wealth and success. Many people say If I affirm I am successful when I am a failure, or if I say to myself I am wealthy when I am broke, I am lying to myself, and I seem to get worse and experience the opposite of what I affirm or claim to be true. The reason for this is that the belief in lack, failure, and limitation is dominant in their subconscious mind, and every time they affirm wealth, they resurrect the thought of lack. They fail to understand how to tap the riches of the infinite because they don't know the workings of their mind. For those who honestly feel that lack of understanding, I recommend a very simple procedure by asking them a simple question. Do you believe in wealth, that bountiful wealth exists, and that the infinite cannot fail? It is all power and there is nothing to oppose it. Therefore, success is a principle of life. For example, walk down the street or go out into the country. All you see is wealth, created either by man or by God. All created things were ideas either in the mind of man or of God. I suggest, therefore, two words which are not mere abstractions, but words, thoughts expressed, which have tremendous power as they relate to the inexhaustible power and wisdom of the infinite. By repeating the two words slowly, quietly, feelingly, and knowingly, success, wealth, and doing this over and over again many times a day, you get your ego out of the way. And there is no contradiction in your conscious or subconscious mind as you agree there are such things as wealth and success. When you use certain constructive words, words which stand for and represent eternal truths of God, then your mind becomes anchored on the only presence, cause, power, and substance, and results follow. Use these words regularly, systematically, and repetitiously, and you will discover you are on a sound scientific path. Remember, it is your attitude of mind that is to be overcome, not your circumstances. When you possess the right mental attitude, your conditions, experiences, and financial status will automatically right themselves. A businessman discovered why wealth flowed from him instead of to him. A businessman complained to me that he worked very hard and spent long hours in his store, yet one block away, another man in exactly the same business and with a much smaller store deposited in the bank 3 times as much as he did every week. He was constantly comparing his meager results with those of another and had become envious and also somewhat resentful. I explained to him that by entertaining envious thoughts, he was actually impoverishing himself, and that this was one of the worst possible attitudes to hold, because his negative thinking and his feelings of inferiority were definitely blocking his expansion and growth along all lines. So long as he retained this mental posture, wealth would flow from him instead of to him. That is important to know. If you are feeling like you are in a sea of lack, and if you're holding on to feelings of inferiority, then it definitely is going to block your growth. It's going to stunt your growth, really. It's what people will say. So this remedy was very simple. All he had to do was to bless and sincerely wish greater prosperity and success for his so-called competitor, who was apparently more successful and prosperous state had incited him to envy. Accordingly, he prayed as follows: I recognize God as my instant and everlasting supply. God's wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance. I love that. I love that. God's wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance, and I am divinely directed to give better service every day. Oh, I love that. I love that. I got to write that down. God's wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance, and I am divinely directed to give better service every day. Love that. God's wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance, and I am divinely directed to give better service every day. I know, believe, and rejoice that God is prospering the businessman in the next block, and I sincerely wish for him all the blessings of life. When any thought of envy toward the other businessman came to his mind, he would affirm, God is prospering you. After a while, the envious thoughts lost all momentum, and he too began to prosper and beyond his fondest dreams at that. This man found that the cause of his financial lack and straitened circumstances had been due to his state of mind. By blessing those whose prosperity and success annoy us or excite our envy or jealousy, and by wishing that they become even more affluent and successful in every way, we heal our own minds and open the door to the riches of the infinite. Out of the abundance of your heart, you can pour out the gifts of love, light, joy, success, and goodwill to all. And you will discover that by blessing others, you too are blessed, and all sense of envy, inferiority, and poverty is overcome. The magic key to wealth and promotion in life. In consultation periods over many years, I have discovered that the reason many men and women do not get promoted or make more money in their profession or business is that they were in the habit of condemning those who went up the ladder of life, while stating that others in their organization were cold, callous, ruthless, and that some even had a racket. They fail to perceive that there is nothing more destructive and more calculated to deprive them of promotion and advancement than condemning and judging harshly those who succeeded and who received increments and advancements in their work. Actually, I found out that they let wealth, honor, and riches slip through their fingers and blocked and impeded their own progress spiritually, mentally, and financially. The remedy in all cases was to teach them to wish sincerely for all those around them, as well as all people everywhere, that they be blessed and prospered in countless ways. And by rejoicing in their advancement and material progress, the result inevitably is that they are delivered from the mental block of envy, covetousness, and resentment. They then become dispensers of God's bounty to all. By praying in the above manner, unhappy people came back to their divine center, and they discovered that the infinite being was pouring out blessing and benedictions upon themselves and for all those for whom they prayed. By wishing others well, you are blessing yourself. Remember the old Hindu maxim, the ship that comes home to my brother comes home to me. So that is so amazing to point out that you, in essence, really could block your own blessings by your state of mind, by you being envious and jealous of somebody else, which, those are such low vibrational ways of being. Envy, jealousy, bitterness, unforgiveness, all of those things can block, what God already has for you, what the blessing is for you. So now some points to remember. To become aware of the law of plenty, all you have to do is to observe the prodigality of nature. Nature is lavish, extravagant, and bountiful. Contemplate the abundance of nature and you will experience the life more abundant. A technique to attract riches into your life is to affirm frequently, God's riches are flowing to me like the rain falls from the heavens. Repeat it frequently and you will succeed in impregnating your subconscious mind with the idea of riches. The trouble with most people who don't have all the money they need to accomplish their life objectives is that they lack the invisible psychic means of support. They fail to see that the treasure house of eternity is within them. Hallelujah. I want to say that one more time. They fail to see that the treasure house of eternity is within them. So the treasure house of eternity is within us, within me, within you. So a beauty parlor operator discovered that the key to her outstanding success was her intense desire to give greater and better service to her clients. She did her very best externally, but she also worked internally by turning to the infinite within her, claiming peace, harmony, power, and guidance. She realized that the inside governs the outside. The inner world of the mind and the outer objective activity must work together in unison and in concord. The law of life is plenty, not lack. Your thoughts have form, shape, and substance in your mind. When nourished and sustained by faith, they come forth as form and expression on the screen of space. Your thoughts of opulence, harmony, security, and the riches of the infinite will manifest in your life, provided you change your thoughts and keep them changed. There is a way out of every problem and an answer to every question. Whatever you seek in life, you must go within the psychic recesses of your mind and there claim that you now are what you long to be, that you now possess what you long to possess, and your subconscious mind will produce what you claim and feel to be true. The kingdom of God is a kingdom of intelligence and infinite power within you. The riches of the infinite are within you, and you must claim your inheritance, which was given to you from the foundation of time. Repeating frequently the words wealth, success, victory, joy will activate these powers and qualities within you, and your subconscious will release all these potentialities within you, and wonders will happen in your life. The ways of your subconscious are past finding out, and the money you seek may come from a bequest, a sweepstake ticket, or an idea may well up from your subconscious worth a fortune. To obviate a quarrel in your mind, instead of saying, I am wealthy, I am successful, I am happy, etc., use the words thoughts expressed, wealth, success, happiness. These words, which are thoughts expressed, have their own mechanics and mathematics within them. Wealth, success, happiness. Love it. These words, which are thoughts expressed, have their own mechanics and mathematics within them. And by repetition, activate these dormant powers in your subconscious, and you will be compelled to express these characteristics and qualities, as the law of your subconscious is compulsion. Envy, covetousness, and resentment impoverish you, as these are thoughts of lack and limitation and are very negative. You are the thinker in your universe, therefore, you attract more lack, limitation, and misery. Radiant thoughts of love, peace, prosperity, success to all those around you. Knowing what you wish for others, you are wishing for yourself. Love is the fulfilling of the law of success, prosperity, and abundance. Love is goodwill to all. Recognizing God as your instant and everlasting supply, and claim that God's wealth is forever circulating in your life, and wealth will flow to you in avalanches of abundance. Criticism, condemnation, and jealousy of others because they have gone up the ladder of success and fame will block your good and inhibit the flow of God's riches to you. Pour out the benediction and the blessing of the infinite on all those who excite your envy, and you will open the door for countless blessings for yourself. So that ends chapter, okay, it was chapter 13. That ends chapter 13. We will go to chapter 14, how your perception brings you wonders of disciplined imagination. On tomorrow, I'll read that. But I wanted to talk a little bit about what went on in this chapter. This chapter was so much fire, y'all. Y'all hear my y'all, right? Yeah, that was how to increase wealth, psychic. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I'll read chapter 14. It might be Tuesday. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it Monday because I've got to work these nights, and so I might not make that one. But I will definitely try. If not, it'll be on Tuesday that I'll read. Um, yeah, because this is Sunday. How your perception brings you wonders of disciplined imagination. I am so excited about that, y'all. I love reading this book. I would. I actually would just sit down and finish it, but I know that it's a lot. That is the one reason why I've been kind of taking my time and diving into this, because it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot for me. It's probably a lot for everyone else. Uh, so I've been, wanting to read it, chapter by chapter, so that you can kind of internalize it as you go, and as you grasp all of the examples, because that is one of the things that I love about Dr. Joseph Murphy. Florence Scovel Shinn does it. Wallace D. Waddles does it, so many different examples to help you to understand, how this works, to help you to understand that you can't be running around here being negative and hateful and all kinds of stuff. You just can't, and expect to be blessed. Good morning, Yvonne. Thank you for joining. Hey, Megan, thank you for joining. But not believing is to live in sin according to the law of, I can't even see. I don't know what it says. Okay. I can't see that. Sorry. But yes, so as we begin to embody, this wonderful version of us, because this is what I see, y'all. I see that, people are waking up and beginning to embody a different version of themselves, beginning to embody a version of yourself where you are prosperous and you're wealthy. And not only that, you're at peace and you have harmony. Because one thing about peace that I know is peace is priceless. You cannot put a price on peace. And I treasure my peace. I mean, I guard it like a big dog. Because I truly believe that, you can get money back. Not a problem. I mean, you can get money back, but you cannot get time back. You can't get time back. And peace is priceless. There's no price that you can put on peace. So as you begin to just look into this and just decide that, this is how you're going to live your life, because the thing is as you are awakening and the things that you go through there, which I'm not really going to talk about that a lot today, because my Ebony and Ivory sister and I are going to talk about that on Wednesday on our show. Ebony and Ivory on spiritual growth will be right here on Facebook, I think. And it's just amazing. So we'll probably talk about that kind of stuff at that time. But what I'm talking about right now is embodying, what it is that you desire and opening up your life, because that really is what's happening. It's like your life is opening up. You are blossoming like a flower. Things are coming to you because you are doing this work, because you have decided, you've set intentions, and you've made decisions that this is what you're going to do. That you are going to not stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop with the envy and all that jealousy and all that shit, because it does not make any sense. And there is nothing that can happen as a result of that, except you get all kinds of autoimmune diseases and all kinds of conditions and all kinds of things as a result of those things running rampant in your damn mind. So you got to let all that go. You really have to begin to let that go and really take your place. And my thing is, you might want to read this one again, or you might want to check out Florence, because Florence Scovel-Shinn's Game of Life and How to Play It. I actually read that a couple of weeks ago on here as well. But you can, it's on YouTube. You can listen to it on YouTube for free. But you can listen to it on YouTube all the time, like I do. I listen to usually a portion of it every single day, not the whole thing, because it's a few hours long. Sometimes I'll put it on when I go to sleep, but to just listen to it and focus on it a couple times a week, I definitely do. And I think that it has been instrumental in helping to change my life, because some of the things that we feel and that we know, they give examples for that, because many times we know lots of stuff, especially if you are claircognizant. You know things, you don't even know how you know them. You just know shit. Same thing with clairsentience. You feel stuff. How do you feel it? Where do you feel it? To me, I feel it in my solar plexus. God, my stomach just starts acting real crazy and doing crazy stuff, and so I realized that and recognized that. But why? Because I started paying attention and I started making decisions that this is where I want my life to be. So as you begin to make those decisions, and as you begin to set those intentions, and as you begin to just stand up and say, you know what? I am only available for this, or I am unavailable for that, but I'm only available for this. Think about that. What are you available for in your life? What are you available for? And what are you unavailable for? You know, like for me, when I decided that I wanted to get married again, and still again, I wasn't looking at anything, but this is what I said. I said, I'm unavailable for men that don't know how to provide. I'm unavailable for men that don't know how to treat me. I'm unavailable for men that cheat. I'm unavailable for men that are stingy and selfish. I am unavailable for those. So consequently, the man of my dreams came and he had none of those qualities. So it was truly a blessing. But the other part is I set that intention. So nothing was going to come to me and for me in that arena that wasn't what I desired, because I set that intention and I stood on that and I said, I am not doing it, because I already had a bozo the clown. Didn't want no more of those. So anyway, that was just one example. But I'm going to pop off. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, for joining me. Those of you that are here live, make sure that you hit hashtag live and tell me where you're watching from, except for Megan. I know where she is. And Yvonne, I know where she is too. But yeah, so thank you so much for hanging out, for watching Sunday service and the reading of Dr. Joseph Murphy's book. Like I said, he has written a few different books that are amazing. Like he has a book on faith that I am probably going to read next, because I heard it read and it was amazing. Even the reading was good. And so I decided that maybe I would read that one as well, because, you know, one thing about reading, my daughter always says, reading is fundamental and fun. Okay, it came from Riff. But that's her favorite thing to say. Reading is fundamental and fun, you know, and I truly believe that. So again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I am going to pop off here because I'm going to bed because I worked last night. But I wanted to just come on here and share with you the Sunday service and also read from Dr. Joseph Murphy's Psychic Perception. And so we will begin chapter 14 the next time that I come on to read, which it'll either be tomorrow or Monday. It may be Monday, because sometimes after I do these few days of work, I have to put myself to bed. So again, thank you so much for hanging out. It's been truly a blast. I always love to come on here and talk about this stuff. And so if you are in need, and you are not in need, but if you are wanting, desiring to have a healing session, I have those available. I call them get your shit together sessions. So if that is something that you are desiring, or you have heard the sound of my voice and you heard me a little bit and you're looking to have a session with me, do so. Make sure that you comment below the video, or you can always send me a DM. My DMs are open. So again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Oh, and then also, if you are looking to join my program, 6 Weeks to Limitless, also send me a message and we'll see how we can work together. All right. So thank you so much for joining me. This is Tammy Morrison, and I am signing off. Bye now.